Haven't had an opportunity to watch Marvel's Daredevil Season 2 finale, Episode 13, A Cold Day in Hell's Kitchen. Stop listening now, major spoilers, here we go. In the season finale, Daredevil was backed into the ultimate showdown for his own life and the future of Hell's Kitchen. First off, let me just say, I'm sitting here bawling my eyes out because I think that Marvel actually killed off Elektra. And then all of a sudden at the end of the actual episode, we see that Elektra is placed into the pot. Okay, nice, beautiful, perfect, as always, Elektra. And she's good to go, okay? So the BlackSky is now, I guess you can say, beginning, like she's probably going to come out of there and probably start murdering, to be honest, man. So season 3, I can tell you already, it's probably going to be another perfect season because, we get Elektra back. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, man. The season finale, let's talk about that, man. The final scene, Elektra, she rescues Daredevil and sacrifices herself, with the sword through the heart. And like, I'm telling you, man, I cried, dude. I bawled like a baby, man. I screamed out loud, and I wish I'd had my camera set up to see the reaction for that because I couldn't believe it. I just really couldn't believe that they pulled the trigger, man. The stakes were high right there, and for Elektra to sacrifice herself right before, that incident happened where she died. Matt and Elektra, they share this moment where, she is, they know someone's going to die. They know that the risk is really high. The stakes are high. And if they go downstairs, they're going to face the same amount of enemies. If they go upstairs, they're going to face the same amount of enemies. They have longbows. They have katanas. It's just death. And so Matt decides to side with Elektra and choose love and choose the destiny of giving in to that inner evil, that bad side, that dark side, and Elektra couldn't even believe it. She was like, "Are you serious?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "If we make it out of here alive, then we're going to literally like fly off into the sunset, right off into the sunset. We're going to leave from here on a magic carpet ride and go wherever the hell we want. The world is ours. We can finally be together." And she's happy. She's ecstatic. And then all of a sudden, she dies. And the emotion and pain, man, that was delivered from this performance, man. And I'm telling you, dude, I'm a Daredevil fan, okay? I love Daredevil. I think Daredevil is one of the greatest, comic book stories, man. The love story behind, Elektra and Matthew. It's something that needs to be told, man. And people need to see it. And when they actually showed, the anger and the frustration and the pain and the suffering behind his punches, man, I felt it, man. I felt like I was inside of the actual person, the character, the story. I was in there. I was invested because I sat here for the past, 2 days. I watched it, man, from beginning to end. And then all of a sudden, man, this dude Daredevil fought with his hat off, okay? So he took his helmet off. It's just him exposed. Him and his crazy ass eyes looking all in, different directions because he's blind as shit. But it was the best thing ever, man. Because you really felt the pain. You really felt, like he just lost the love of his life, man. And here's the thing, man. Marvel, season 1, they forced, the Karen situation on us. And that's fine and dandy, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants to see them together. But to be honest, man, the real meat, okay, the real meat and potatoes is to get with Elektra and Daredevil and have them, like I said before in my previous podcast reviews, to have beautiful, Elektra and Daredevil babies and, to get those things out on action figures and Pop Funko. And we can collect them and put them on the shelf and all that stuff. And maybe we can even have a spin-off comic book series called Baby Elektra and Baby Daredevil, man. That's what we want to see. That's the ultimate goal. And they showed that tonight, man. They showed the passion. They showed the commitment that he had. And it was a beautiful, beautiful scene, man. And I'm not going to tell you who he took the pain out on, okay? I'm not going to tell you who killed Elektra because I think that that's important. And I didn't ruin who returned last podcast in episode number 12 podcast. Excuse me, I get something to drink. Okay. And the reason why I did that, and the reason why I actually decided not to spoil that is because I think that the season finale and that episode are very, very important, and that character that returns is very, very important because that character is kind of like a representation of what should happen to Elektra in the future. Okay, utilizing the same powers, utilizing the hand and this rising power, this darkness that's supposed to be occurring inside of Hell's Kitchen, in the future. That's what we should see, man. I loved how also what they showed is Punisher in this season finale, which was beautifully crafted. I mean, you have the story of Elektra, you have the story of Daredevil, you have the story of Punisher, you have the story of Karen, and you have the story of Foggy, all wrapped into one. And we only had, I think, 45 minutes for this entire season finale. I gotta go and check. I think it was like 45 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And let me go ahead and actually confirm that. Let me back this thing up to the beginning and see exactly. Okay, 57 minutes, almost an hour, man. Almost an hour for them to finalize this finale, and it was done. It was done really, really amazing, man. I'm telling you. So the Punisher finds, how do you want to say it? The Punisher killed the Colonel last episode. Season finale, he finds this. He found the arsenal during episode number 12, but during the season finale, he actually took hold of it, set up shop, and became the Punisher. You know what I'm saying? Spray painted, the nice white skull on his Kevlar, and walked out, man, with a trench coat and this goddamn Gatling gun and a sniper rifle, and he was just ready to kick ass, man. And what was cool about it is that he actually backed up, Daredevil and Elektra. And especially after Elektra had died, Daredevil was just taking on these dudes, whipping ass for love. And then all of a sudden the Punisher's up there, and all of a sudden you hear, or however the fucking, the sniper rifle goes, you know what I'm talking about. And then, he's just headshot, because that's what he does, man. It's just one shot, one kill. He'll always hit you. He always hits his targets. And Matt Murdock, you know what I'm saying, he knew exactly who it was. You know what I'm saying? They were kind of communicating, through just actions. And then after that, at the end, he said, "I'll see you around, Red." And because that's what Punisher calls Daredevil, Red, man. And it was pretty cool, man, just to see, two iconic figures on the screen for the first time, and them, backing each other up, I mean, it's, like I said, this is literally Marvel's version of Batman versus Superman. There's no getting around it. You really, if you sit there and you watch it, and you sit there and watch the trailers and all the promo for Batman versus Superman, this is Marvel's version of Batman versus Superman. There's no getting around it, man. They fought at the beginning, and then at the end, they're fucking friends, and now they're fighting crime together. There's no way to get around it, man. Now, what I want to see in the future, I want to see, I'm telling you, please Netflix, man, please Marvel, please ABC, do a Punisher series by himself, okay? Just release the Punisher. It can be like Punisher and Friends. I don't care what you're going to call it. Just have the Punisher have his own missions. And release it, man. Just release 13 episodes of the Punisher going on missions, man. It doesn't even have to be a real story. It can just be a continuation of what we learned from Daredevil, you know what I'm saying? And then have him go through Hell's Kitchen. Daredevil can pop up in there, every 2 or 3 episodes, maybe 5 episodes. Maybe Daredevil comes in on the first episode, reminds Punisher to not kill, and then episode like 5, he comes in there, helps him out with a mission, and then the season finale, him and maybe Luke Cage and Jessica Jones show up or some shit. But that would be badass, man. That would be so awesome to see that, man. The Punisher has left, how do you want to say it, Karen, and he's now on his own journey, his own destiny, okay? And he'll be charting out that by himself, man. Karen looks like she might be heading back to Matt Murdock, and I don't really agree with this one. I found it very disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I actually found it disrespectful as shit, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I was actually, a little upset and a little depressed, man, because Elektra, she died. Then all of a sudden you saw a fade to black, and then a fade in from black into the scene, and then Elektra's being buried, and then it fades out again, and then we go to Karen and Foggy. Foggy's trying to spit game. Karen goes back to the office. All of a sudden Matt shows up. He has a bag, and he's like, "I got to show you something. I have something for you. I got to show you. I got to tell you something." She's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm not feeling this shit." He pulls out the fucking Daredevil mask, you know what I'm saying? Karen's still like, "I'm not feeling this shit." But then all of a sudden she looks down, and it's the Daredevil mask. And all of a sudden now she's like, "Oh shit, I'm hot in the pants." And all of a sudden, we know what's going to happen now. She's going to trust him more. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I like strong female characters, man. Not these wishy-washy type of female characters, man. I just found it really disrespectful, man. Because he'll lead her on. You know what I'm saying? She'll be, depressed as shit throughout the whole entire season. And then all of a sudden he shows her the fucking mask. And all of a sudden, now she's like, oh, I'm intrigued. She gives that intrigue face and then they fade to black. It's like, dude, like, come on, man. Give Foggy a chance. Foggy's there, you know what I'm saying? He's a good guy. He's a solid guy. You don't have to fall for the dude that has a six-pack all the time and runs around inside of, a costume and stuff to save the city. You can actually just fall for a regular dude, And here's my thing, too. Foggy has now taken a job with a different firm. So the Foggy Murdock, Nelson Murdock, whatever you want to call it, it no longer exists. It's closing down. Karen has a job. She had a future as like this, pretty much like Lois Lane and shit. You know what I'm saying? She's like Marvel's version of Lois Lane. She has a nice job as a reporter. And then all of a sudden, Daredevil comes in, throws the mask out. And now she's like, oh shit, should I stay? So that's where we're at. We're probably going to be in some sort of love triangle coming up in season 3, which I don't mind. I mean, it's pretty cool, man. And the performances are still good, but it's like, damn, dude, give yourself some time to mourn for Elektra, man, because, she would have did the same for you. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't have just jumped on the bed with somebody else or showed somebody, her damn size or something like that, She wouldn't have pulled out the katana or nothing like that. She would have just waited and like, yo, Matthew just died. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off, yo. I'm going to try to, be a good person for once, you know what I'm saying? And just mourn. But you didn't get the time to mourn, yo. I mean, I understand. It's only 13 episodes, but it's like, damn, dude. What was pretty dope is that the return of Trinity from the Matrix, okay? I'm not going to spoil how she returned, but I will say this, though. It was her on screen with... And no, I don't want to say it. Okay, it was her. No, I was gonna say it. It was her on screen with Foggy, offering Foggy a job with her. That's all I'm gonna say. It was really cool to see her back, and we saw Kingpin back this season. Now we saw Trinity. She's back. Carrie-Anne Moss, and then I'm hoping next season, because Madame Gao showed up. I'm hoping that next season we get to see even more characters from season 1, show up. The ones that are alive and stuff. A lot of them got fucking wasted. What I really want to see is the return of the one and only, Superman's mom. That's what I want to see. I want to see her come back because eventually Kingpin's money's going to run out. I don't know if he's stacking up money now. The dude said that his reserves will be, he'll be sucking into reserves, the reserves that are going to protect his wife. So I'm wondering, how's it going to play out? And when is Kingpin going to break out of prison? It's going to be season 3. And whenever Kingpin does break out of season, is the Punisher going to owe him time and money? Or is it going to just be straight revenge? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to run the Punisher? Who's going to own the Punisher? Those are things that I'm really, really worried about and concerned about, man. But once again, I can't say it enough. This was an amazing season, and I think I'm just gonna go and have a podcast where I just talk about that for like 20 or 30 minutes because I got to get it out of me, man. This is such a great series, and I really do recommend that you sit down and actually watch everything. What I'm working on right now is a video that cuts out everything except the fighting on one, and then after that just cuts out every other distraction, fighting, crime, just gives you the story and the story of each individual character. So one of them will be like a Kingpin episode, one will be a Daredevil episode, one will now be the Punisher episode, one will be Elektra episode, and I should have those up, man, within 15 to 30 days or something like that. Alright, so just look for them, as long as you're subscribed, you'll get the notification and stuff whenever it arrives. And if you're on Facebook, it's going to be on Facebook first because I can get past the copyright strikes and all that stuff on Facebook. So make sure that you're looking and liking and subscribe to the Translucent Origin Facebook page. That's where I put all my stuff up first. Any sort of my mashups and anything that's pretty much that can close my channel down. I put that on Facebook first because Facebook for some reason they let down the guards, man. You can put anything up on Facebook right now. No one's blocking it. No one's taking it down. It's really, really awesome, man. And the monetization there is really brilliant. I'm not gonna lie about that. Other than that, man, that's it. I think I'm out of here. I think I covered every single thing that's in there. I know I didn't really talk about particulars, man, but the whole goal. Let me talk about that just for a couple seconds, man, for a couple minutes. The goal of TheHand was to secure the BlackSky. BlackSky is Elektra, the whole entire reason that she was there was because of Stick. Stick pretty much took care of Elektra since she was a kid, and then it's kind of the best way to say it is that Stick sent Elektra on a mission to either distract Matthew or keep an eye on Matthew. I think that's a better way to say it. And then all of a sudden, Elektra fell in love with Matthew. Matthew fell in love with Elektra. And then all of a sudden, now that the Hand revealed the information about Elektra being BlackSky, then Stick decided the best way is to take her out. Stick tried to, as Elektra was growing up, he tried to contain the madness and the death and the destruction that came along with this young female Elektra as best as possible. But, just being, I guess how old he is, and for her being so powerful, because Elektra is a powerful character, and especially her now as this BlackSky, as this darkness awakens, this force, this evil, this energy. It's very hard to contain her, so the best way to do it is to cut her down, strike her down, to kill her, to murder her, and that's the whole reasoning behind the situation with Stick. Now, Daredevil wanted to save both Elektra and Stick, and at the end, he only was able to save Stick, and then Stick was able to, no spoilers on that one, but he was able to do something to stop a certain threat coming back again. That was really amazing. That was a really, really important part, because that's the importance of Stick inside of the story of Daredevil. Stick always does things for his benefit, his purpose, and for his continuation, and he usually never lets Daredevil know anything. Okay, so that's something to really think about, man. But the how do you want to say it? I almost spit all over this thing. I was trying to say and I stuttered. But anyway, the crazy thing about Stick is that even though he's that old, he's still more powerful than Daredevil. Okay. Daredevil, the more teaching that he gets from Stick, the better he becomes. And I think that was really a perfect example of that tonight. And hopefully that's what we see in the future, man. Stick showed him how to take down the ninjas, the Yakuza, the Hand, everything by focusing. Just because you couldn't hear their footsteps doesn't mean that you can't track them. Track them through their breath now. Really, really awesome stuff, man. That's it, guys. We're out of here. We're out of time. Post spoilers. Do whatever you want to do, man. It's open now. We're out of here.